Hi there, Steve Kaufman here. Today I want to talk about language learning apps, applications, software systems on your phone, on your tablet, even on your computer that you can use that will help you learn a language. Which is the best language learning app? All right, before I start, let's make it clear that you learn the language from the language. The language teaches you the language, all right? By consuming the language, you learn the language. So the app is just a device to help you consume the language. It's a bit like an app is like a bottle opener or a corkscrew that gets rid of the cork so that you can drink the wine. You're going to enjoy the wine, all right? The app is no more than just the corkscrew. So when it comes, and so to that extent, books, starter books, any book, textbook, you name it, is in a way an app. It's an ability, or at least it's a device that helps you access the language so that you can learn the language from the language. I have a lot of experience with language learning apps. Leaving aside the ones that I have explored on the internet, I have so many books at home. I just grabbed the few that were within reach here in my library. So, Intermediate Cantonese, a book on Cantonese written in Chinese, so Mandarin speakers, Farsi, what do we got here? Polish grammar. I haven't yet started on Turkish. I speak Japanese, but I'm curious as to what people have out there. Hebrew, Asimil Romanian, Český krok za krokem. What do we got here? TOEIC for Japanese people, KBS Korean material, living language Greek. What else we got here? Italian grammar, Romanian, Portuguese. And that's just scratching the surface of what I have at home. Some of them I've used. Many of them I look at. Some I get given to me. I would say some are useful, some are less useful. Now, with regard to apps on the internet, so the most powerful app right away is Google. Because not only do you have Google Translate, you have Google Text to Speech, but you can Google to find whatever you need. You can find listening material, reading material, grammar resources. You can find, conjugation tables, declension tables. Whatever you need to find relating to your language learning activity, you can find. Plus, it gives you these powerful tools like Google Translate and Google Text to Speech. So I use Google a lot. If you Google the best language learning apps, you will find a list. And they'll have Duolingo on there, and Busuu, and Babbel, and Memrise, Anki. And these lists are very subjective because typically they're going to have the 10 best, when in fact there are hundreds and hundreds of apps. When I started learning Hebrew and Arabic, and I had to learn the writing system, I downloaded a lot of apps. Most of them were useless. I start with the free apps, and then I pay a few dollars to get an app. I didn't end up using them at all. But there's lots of them. You kind of have to sort through the ones that work best for you. So my conclusion is, other than the fact that Google is an all-powerful app, the next most powerful app for language learning is the one you like the best. Period. I tried Duolingo. I didn't like it. The reason why the one you like the best is because you have to want to use it. You have to use it a lot, and you have to continue using it, because language learning takes time. I'm into Arabic now. I'm going to be a year or two with Arabic. And that's based on my experience in learning Russian and learning Czech and learning all these other languages. It takes time. So I have to, stay with an app for it to have any benefit. All right? So, and typically the apps can only do a few different things. They may provide you with some grammar rules. They may provide you with multiple choice where you're deciding which is the word for apple, cow, horse, or pig. These kinds of things, much like Rosetta Stone does. Duolingo provides you with a bunch of disjointed phrases. I didn't like Duolingo because I couldn't control what I was listening to and reading. Memrise or Anki are very much based on flashcards and spaced repetition systems. So people who like to spend a lot of time on that kind of activity are going to enjoy those apps. You won't be surprised to know that I spend all my time with my Link app. That's what I prefer to do. Other people may prefer to do something else. I do that because I have wonderful content, all the functionality that I need. I prefer to spend most of my time reading and listening, and it enables me to access content that's always that little bit more difficult for me, so I'm improving in the language, but that's me. And there are people who swear by Duolingo, who swear by Memrise, Anki, Busuu, you name it. It, in a way, doesn't matter, because language learning comes down to maintaining your level of motivation and spending the time. So if you enjoy the app you're using, if you feel you're making progress with this app, and that can be a subjective thing. You may be, in fact, making progress and you think you aren't, or you may think that you're making a lot of progress. Sorry, we'll start from the beginning. You may think that you're not making progress and you are, in fact, or you may think that you're making progress and you're not. What matters is how you feel about how you're doing. If you feel good about your language learning, if you enjoy the app, then you will stay with it and you will eventually learn. If you have a positive attitude, if you put in the time, you will eventually learn. That is why the best language learning app is the one that you like well enough to stay with it. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.